fee to where the receptionist works for all of them and you rent an individual office.
Sure.
And I think we need to be more pro-business in River Oaks, but.
As long as he's responsible for the bills.
You know, to assume it, I mean, if it's 1 meter, it's gonna be one person paying it, right, Marvin?
Yeah.
So if it doesn't get paid, it gets cut off. As an inspector, you see a problem with it?
Well, I was also going with the electric. I mean, are we going with a 6-bank electric on the back?
No, we're building that side.
Not the building that side.
To change it, though, you'd have to put, what, 6 water meters in and 6 electric meters in. That seems ridiculous for a building that size to me.
I can't believe it has 6 rooms in it.
I thought the sign over says rooms 500 square feet to 1,500 square feet.
That's like what Chris Franks was looking at doing. There's a new deal going where so many people work at home. There's actually places that rent out offices by the day or by the hour where you can come in and use a computer, or you could share a conference room. You work out of your home, but you got a meeting with somebody, you can come meet at that office and reserve so that's getting to be a fairly popular trend, certainly not in River Oaks, but it's going on. I don't know if it's good or bad, but it's happening.
One person office, a 500 square feet, I mean, you're basically talking about one person per office.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is.
I don't have a problem with that size. I mean, I think it'd be ridiculous to have 6 water meters in there and 6.
Right.
Does he have parking for the, you're gonna
That's
say?
one of the issues
He
I have.
has parking, plus he has a grass area over the one side, which could be made into additional parking if he needs to.
But the building would have, parking that needed to put 5 or 6 offices.
Yeah, Steve went down to that.
Yeah, it has 6 parking spots, current. And he has a grass area to the left side of the building that would, if they're gonna do more parking, then they would have to make it an approved surface and use it as parking over there.
I'm ready to make a motion. I'd make a motion that we approve the request from Don Istook to waive the requirement for separate utility services for multiple office spaces within a single commercial building at 4813 Green Oaks Boulevard, according to section 13.03.005 of the River Oaks Code of Ordinances. Second.
Have a motion and second. Any other discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Mayor, I would ask if you would be willing to do it. I would like to double back to item 13. I've had something that I'd like to add that didn't cross my mind before, and as we were sitting there. So, is that okay? Okay, so I think I fell into it. There's something on the agenda and I have an opinion, and I gave that opinion. At the same time, the more I'm thinking about that, we have a city manager set up now. We're trying to get out of the days of everything coming to the council. And I think that's good. And so I probably don't agree with all of what staff's interpretation of that was, but he reports to him. Well, I guess technically you might report to him and to him, or depending on what day it is, you report to him. Whoever you report to, eventually they report to Marvin. So I'm not sure if it's proper at this point to try to withdraw a motion at this point or try to put it on the next council agenda. I don't don't agree. I agree with everything I said about whether that's art or whether it's not or whatever. I'm not going to argue that with somebody. But from a process perspective, I don't think that what my motion did was right, because basically my motion was to tell staff, this is what I think it is. So I apologize for that not coming to my mind beforehand, and I don't know what we need to do to look at changing it. And it had 2 other votes besides mine, so maybe I've been in left field a lot of other times. So if I'm still in left field, that's fine, but I just wanted to bring it to everybody's attention. I'm not sure that, what we did was proper from a procedural standpoint, whether we all have opinions or not. We put him there, we put him there, he puts them there, and that's the way it's supposed to go.
But under the code of ordinances, that a decision that an inspector makes is subject to appeal by what's called the Board of Appeals, which in our case is the city council.
That's what we need. Is the sign ordinance in the zoning ordinance?
You know, that's all of it.
But that's what she's saying, is the sign ordinance a standalone or is it in the zoning?
In zoning.
So
The sign ordinance is in the code of ordinance.
separate from the zoning ordinance.
Okay.
Okay,
Does
so
that matter?
coming before,
Not
it
understanding.
means that they have a right
Trying
to,
to learn here.
means that they have a right to appeal to the council instead of the ZBA.
See,
But-
it was in the zoning ordinance, and the zoning administrator made a determination that the, property owner objected to, that it would not come to the council, it would come to the zoning board of adjustment
Okay,
to make the determination. But Marvin, I had thought
Remember, we
we'd take,
pulled the sign
that's
code
what I
out
was
of the
thinking, we had
zoning
taken
ordinance.
it out because we didn't want a grandfather.
And my deal is, it seems like we bring things to council all the time, that we have people that are quite capable of making those decisions, and I oftentimes don't understand why they're coming here. But I also, as a citizen, I think that I should have a right to plead my case to somebody other than one person.
Yeah.
And I certainly hope that, you know, I'm calling out to you guys all the time, asking from your perspective, so, I hope that always you know that I respect you guys and what you do, and that your opinion matters. Don't always have to agree with it,
My only problem, I just don't consider it a sign.
right?
Well, what's the difference if they had painted it purple or green stripes, of which we've got some here?
Well, we've already addressed all of that. With an Angel down here, they had painted on their building, it was actually painted and looked good. Didn't look like graffiti, didn't invite people to come in and start spraying everywhere. We made them remove it.
Because they repainted it. It was there, and then they
And this is there,
and they painted over it, and once they painted over it.
So we definitely need to
This is
readdress the whole
we've
thing.
already done all of that. What did you want to do, Joe?
Well, if
Because-
that was the zoning, that was my main concern.
Right, that's,
Because-
so it's not.
And after we amended the code of ordinances, this is still the Board of Appeals?
Yes.
Okay.
City council, even in the code of ordinance, even in your code period is members of the Board of Appeals. The council.
Okay.
So I would request that we put this on the next workshop so that we can fine tune this, because I still agree that it's not something that should grow everywhere. I don't know.
So from a procedure, okay, just let me check this. From a procedural standpoint, when it goes from Steve, and that if they don't like what they get from Steve, does it then go to Marvin as the building official? So did what we heard tonight procedurally?
And that's how it went.
Okay,
But when we made the decision, we did, she had the right to appeal.
Did she appeal or did you just put it on?
but what I'm
She
saying is,
appealed it, she told me she would like to get the council.
She appealed it the day that I told her about it.
Against it as well.
Yeah.
She just didn't agree with the decision, she wanted her life to be heard, and she was heard.
Well, did she do it in writing or?
No, she didn't want to put it in writing.
Anything in writing, and then they have to,
Well, I thought that
in
was in
writing.
the packet.
But that was, I was in
Yes,
the building.
Mr. Mayor, if I can, so I think an important thing to remember, the fire code and the building code are independent of one another. Steve is the fire code official operating under the authority of the fire chief. His code denials, based on the code that the council adopts, that should be a variance request directly to the council. That doesn't, if a business owner doesn't like the fire marshal's decision on a code interpretation, their only appeal is to the city council, not to the building official.
but the sign interpretation wasn't as the fire code official, it was as the building inspector.
No, the,
Under property maintenance, I believe is what it
Like the
said.
piano thing is a no-brainer. If you guys say it's not that it's dangerous, then
Well,
it's
it's on the
not.
sidewalk.
Yeah.
but you park a car there and you have the piano there, there's absolutely no way you walk by.
Okay, we've taken action on that, and